The Super 25 of North American Big Game was introduced into the GSCO family of slams in 2011. Several GSCO members have voiced their concerns about the difficulty in obtaining all 29 necessary for the Super Slam, with the polar bear being the number one concern since it could not be imported by Americans. There are also other factors including the desert sheep, Roosevelt and Tule elk, and even a couple of the caribou were showing decreasing numbers of permits. With these and other considerations in mind, GSCO realized there needed to be another level between the Super 10 and Super Slam. 20 didn't seem to be the right number, so the Super 25 was born. To qualify for this award, one has to have completed the Super 10 with at least one from each of the 10 categories. After the Super 10 is completed, a member can take any additional 15 trophies on the list to qualify for the Super 25. We're going to honor several GSCO members tonight for this milestone, which proves the significance of this second level of North America's big game hunting. We'll be breaking these Super 25 awards into groups. Please hold your applause until everyone in each group has been introduced. As your name is called, please quickly make your way to the stage. Now, for our first group.
Robert Finn of Wyoming reached the Super 25 in November 2014 with a Sitka blacktail deer from Alaska. Prior to that blacktail, Robert got a woodland caribou in Newfoundland in October 2013, and that same month, a Columbia blacktail deer from Oregon. Robert took an impressive Canada moose in 2005, a home state Wyoming pronghorn in September 2006, and his most recent trophy, which adds above and beyond his 25, was a Coues deer from Sonora, Mexico in 2015. One of the earliest trophies we have for Super 25 holder Gary Jameson of Pennsylvania is his New Mexico mule deer taken in November 1991. Gary was able to get a mountain lion from British Columbia in 1993. Moving along to the 2000s, Gary connected on a Coues deer in Sonora, Mexico in 2001. He took a muskox in August 2014 and completed his Super 25 with a Central Canadian barren ground caribou from Nunavut in September 2014. Minnesota's Mike Knutson is up next for Super 25 recognition. Mike completed his Super 10 in 2014 with a bison from Montana and reached the Super 25 mark literally just a few days ago with an Arizona Coues deer. Talk about cutting it close. Mike took a nice Indiana whitetail in 2012, a polar bear in 2015, a great Tule elk in 2015, and was fortunate enough to also take a pair of Sitka blacktails in Alaska that same year. Next up for Super 25 recognition is Randy Luth of Arizona. Randy's best known as the founder of DPMS Panther Arms, and he's donated several of his fine AR-style rifles to our auctions. Naturally, Randy does a lot of his hunting with AR-type rifles, and you may have noticed some of those on the screen, such as his 2002 American Mountain Goat from Alaska. Next, we had Randy's Rocky Mountain Elk from Colorado, taken in 2006. His Montana Bison was taken in 2013, and the following year, Randy connected on an Alaska Brown Bear. The most recent two trophies on Randy's list are his Tule elk from California, taken in 2015, and his number 25 trophy, a Sitka blacktail deer, came on a hunt in Kodiak Island, Alaska in November 2016. It was a 3-month, 3-deer species run that got David Reed of Texas to the Super 25. In September 2016, he took a Columbia blacktail in California. October found David in Arizona, where he connected on a Coues deer, and he completed the Super 25 on a Kodiak Island hunt in November 2016 when he got a Sitka blacktail deer. Backing up to some of his other species, see David's Alaska Yukon Moose from 2001, his mule deer from Utah in 2002, and his outstanding South Texas whitetail, also taken in 2002. Milton Schultz of Texas is up to 27 animals on the Super Slam list and only needs a Tule elk and Central Canadian barren ground caribou to complete that coveted milestone. We suspect Milton will be after that award in the very near future. Milton completed his Super 25 in September 2016 when he took both a Canada moose and woodland caribou in Newfoundland. Milton's Roosevelt elk from California came in 2014, and in 2015, Milton added a black bear as well as a Quebec Labrador caribou to his growing Super Slam list while on the same hunt. Milton's most recent trophy came in November 2016, and that was a Sitka blacktail from Alaska. We're pleased to recognize Susan Toohey of Michigan for completing her Super 25 in September 2016 with a woodland caribou from Newfoundland. She took a Shiras moose from Wyoming in 2000, and her grizzly bear came from Alaska in 2007, and she used a handgun for that trophy. Up next for Susan is a desert mule deer taken in 2008, and in 2013 she traveled to the far north and collected a muskox. We'll finish up by showing Susan's Quebec Labrador caribou from 2014. Larry Willard of Arizona really got after the animals of North America over the past few years, and he was able to complete his Super 25. Larry took a self-guided whitetail in November 2013, and the following month added a cougar to his Super Slam list. In 2014, Larry and a group of several other GSCO members traveled to Greenland, and they were successful on muskox. In 2015, Larry connected on a barren ground caribou in Alaska. And finally, we'd like to show you one of Larry's Rocky Mountain elk. This Montana bull was taken in October 2016. We'd like for our next two Super 25 holders to begin making their way to the stage together. Dennis Kalish and Don Thompson. While they're coming, we'd like to explain the reason that we're calling them together. Up until December 2014, Dennis Kalish of Missouri had not taken a cougar but had checked off most of the other species on the Super Slam list. So when he got to that Wyoming lion, it got into both Super 10 and Super 25 status. With 28 North American species, Dennis now only needs a Sitka blacktail to complete the Super Slam, and he tells us that hunt is booked for the 2017 season. Well, you've been seeing some of his pictures on the screen, and they include his bison from BC, taken in 2008, a Roosevelt elk from 2011, a Columbia blacktail taken in California in 2012, a Shiras moose from Utah taken in 2013, and we'll finish up with the Quebec Labrador caribou Dennis took in 2014. We hope you noticed that Dennis Kalish had someone with him in several of his trophy photos. That someone is his longtime hunting partner and recipient of our next Super 25 award, Don Thompson, also from Missouri. Don completed his Super 25 in November 2016 with a desert bighorn that he arrowed in Utah while hunting with the Navajo Nation. You saw the two friends with Don's excellent mountain caribou from 2003, Don with his 2006 polar bear, and the two again with Don's bison from British Columbia. Don arrowed a Columbia blacktail in 2012 in California, and he got a Quebec Labrador caribou in 2014. Our final Super 25 this year goes to Ned Greer of Iowa. We held him until last because he's the only archery Super 25 this year. He completed that milestone earlier this month with a Coues steer from Sonora, Mexico. Ned has taken some very impressive trophies as he makes his way towards the Archery Super Slam, and they include a Rocky Mountain elk from Arizona and a huge home state whitetail, both taken in 2008. The following year, Ned traveled to Alaska to get his barren ground caribou, and in 2012 he connected on an impressive Thule elk in California. We'll finish up with Ned's big Alaska grizzly bear, taken in 2015. That completes our Super 25 holders for 2017. Let's give them all a great big hand.